Thank you, New York. As we honor the life and times of Dr. King during some of the most difficult moments, when the civil rights battle was on the line, Dr. King wanted the ball in his hand, and he gave his life to ensure that our country would be a better place for all of us. Right now, we want the ball in our hand again as we deal with COVID, as we deal with crime, as we deal with uncertainty. Let's win this for Team New York and Team America. Let's take the ball and have the final goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Adams.
Greetings, friends. Hello, it's Chapo, coming at you on this Martin Luther King Day holiday. We're all California dreaming right now. We're back in the same room. I can feel my brothers. I can sense them. I can feel their vibrations, take in their sense, and embrace them in a masculine embrace. But even though we're in California, I just want a little news from back east. Quote. When the civil rights game was on the line, Dr. King wanted the ball in his hands. Mayor Eric Adams said before tip-off of today's Knicks-Hornets game.
God, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to handle a mayor with this much swag? It's been a week, right, that he's been in office?
Yeah.
And every day, he's just got another banger. It's like Trump level. He is the Democratic Trump, 100%.
Yeah, no, the same thing with Trump, where any input into him, no matter what it is, whether it's Martin Luther King Day, no matter if it's the question, do you live in New York, whatever, anything you put in is going to come out funny because the way they make the sausage is so fucking weird. And you, like with Trump, you can't really figure out how he got there.
No.
Like, we'll never know why Trump said, this hurricane is one of the wettest we've seen from the standpoint of water. And we'll never know. We can like kind of figure it out, like using context clues, like backwards engineering his sentences. With Eric Adams, it's like, okay, I guess he saw he was at a basketball game and was like, oh, Martin Luther King, basketball. But then his sports analogy isn't even like really specific to basketball. No. It sounds more like a football one.
Yeah, I do agree with him though that, you know, if it's the fourth quarter of the civil rights game, Mad Dog, if it's the fourth quarter of the civil rights game, I want the ball in the hands of Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry. He's just, those other guys, your Malcolm X's, your Stokely's Carmichaels, you're talking about chokers there. I want it in the hands of Martin Luther King. Of course, the problem is you might have to worry then about the FBI issuing a rough technical.
Yeah, dog, you've got great civil rights leaders, Bayard Rustin, Medgar Evers. Then you got immortal civil rights leaders, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. I don't know, or I don't know. Like
people yell at Marcus Garvey for like not knowing how much time was on the clock, like J.R. Smith.
I don't know, Marcus Garvey with that hat. We're talking about a showboat, folks. Me first player. Not willing to hand the ball around. I'm sorry.
Dog, I've first time, long time here. You know, I'm tired of hearing all the praise from Martin Luther King Jr. He got only Mickey Mouse rings. He was supported. He couldn't win the title. Couldn't win the Civil Rights Act without Lyndon Johnson at center. They had to build a dream team around him. He's a fraud.
Yeah,
he did not focus on fundamentals.
Like all of the sports Twitter people's nicknames for civil rights leaders, like they call like if you're not a Malcolm X fan, you call him Malcolm XX because he's a girl.
Martin Luther Queen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we need to bring like the Le Bitch, La China, La COVID nickname convention to everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to bring the convention of like tri-state area sports callers and just like the need to rank all individuals based on like just metrics and analytics and things like that, and just like have similar conversations about who's a great player versus an overrated player.
Yeah,
who's an immortal player versus just simply someone who's won a championship or two.
If you do it with mass shooters, then Stephen Paddock is like your Steph Curry. You're like, he's just the best at the long distance.
I mean, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, numbers don't lie.
I'm sorry. Am I going to have to be the one to say it? Paddock's a choker. He was up there. He had an hour to be shooting. He fired for 10 minutes. He had all those guns. The numbers are way worse than they could have been. He did not meet his potential, okay? That's all I'm going to say.
All the Columbine guys are like the people who can't let go of the 90s Bulls. It's like, okay, it's like 30 years ago now. Like, you have to root for another team or something.
Oh, there have been so many other great teams other than the Trenchcoat Mafia.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
And then you got like the people who like Carl Unruh, the guy who just shot everybody in like 1948 in New Jersey. That's like somebody who really loves Bob Cousy.
Yeah. And like the Robert Ory, like the guy who is just on all these teams and just happens to have all these rings, that's the FBI.
They didn't do anything for this. They were just in the room.
Yeah. All they did was tell them to do it.
J. Edgar Hoover was the Phil Jackson running the triangle offense.
Yeah, anyone could have done it with that team.
Yeah. Well, it is Martin Luther King Day, so a periodic reminder that he was 1,000% assassinated by the U.S. state.
Absolutely.
That one is not a hard one.
But as we like to say, everything's different now, and that's when the FBI was bad.
Yeah.
And now they're good.
Now they're charging the bad guys with sedition.
Yeah.
They're doing good work.
Oh, yeah. So, let's talk about that. Was it like the Oath Keepers guy was fine? The Oath Keeper guy, or several of the Keeper of Oaths, they were charged with sedition.
Hell yeah, I love that shit.
And I love all the like the blue check accounts that are like game, set, and match to anyone who says that it was merely a riot and not an insurrection, because like apparently like on Fox News they're just like, if it was an insurrection, how come no one was charged with treason? And what do you think the Justice Department wasn't watching the TV and they were like, oh shit, we better get on?
Yeah, no,
someone with sedition.
Yeah, they're calling you pussy.
Yeah.
I love this shit. It's like we're back to like whiskey rebellion days now. We got fucking sedition being charged. That's awesome.
I get so douched out when just regular Democrats say seditionist and insurrectionist, because it's like, man, you wish this was Reconstruction.
Yes.
Like it's like, come on. I guess everyone does that. Everyone cosplays in America to some extent.
Yeah.
Like 1776 will commence now, and then you just like make more posts.
Yes.
That's what everyone is like, kind of. But it just like it all douches me out. But this is just the newest one.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who was charged with sedition, the head Oath
Stuart
Keeper?
Rhodes.
He's got an eye patch.
Absolute thumb man.
I guarantee you his eye is fine. I guarantee you he got pink eye and got so fucking excited.
Actually, the real story, according to him, makes me think that's not true, because I would not say this was what happened if it happened to me. He was a firearms instructor, and he dropped a loaded gun, and it shot him in the eye.
Damn, dude.
Wait, this is what he admitted.
Yes.
This is what he admitted.
So it has to be so much worse. It has to be so much worse. It has to be like a really dirty guy was fucking his wife, and he like barged in, and the guy pulled out, and his like super HPV cum shot into his eye and gave him like ocular ovarian cancer. Yeah. And the
Like alien blood.
Yeah. It was just like the dirtiest guy in their neighborhood. And the doctor's like, yeah, you're actually the first man to get ovarian cancer in his eye, and we have to take it out. And he's like, oh, I actually dropped my gun.
I lost my eye in a kinetic style situation with several kids with slingshots. And BB guns, yep.
So yeah,
No, he's got-
Patriots are in charge.
Yeah.
Seditionists are being arrested. It's all happening. Mackinac is happening. They're going to roll up all of the networks. Everyone's going to jail. You can all be happy about it.
Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. But no, just one more thing on the Oath Keepers guy. Like, so he's a thumb man.
He's an absolute
thumb man, but he's got a badass eye patch which is like, obviously makes me think of Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
And all I got for this is he's Snake Plissken if the snake were one of those like anacondas that just swallowed a tapir and is just sitting in the fucking jungle for like 10 days as it slowly digests the entire thing.
The snake from The Little Prince after it swallows the elephant.
All right, I'm trying to look this guy up. I get
Oh yeah.
I get bad reception here because I was erroneously placed on a like NATO color revolutionary anti-Gavin watch list, even though I'm an independent journalist and I'm actually like have interviewed a lot of pro-regime people. Actually, but
we gotta start our own like sort of like gray zone style media outlet, but only for California.
Yeah.
Defending actually existing Gavinism.
Yeah. No, I rock with Gray Zone. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Rania. But also like
no insult to Gray Zone.
Yeah.
But we just support the California regime.
We just love Gavin. Gavin's a super gremlin. He really is. He makes me think of that song. My reception's too shitty to find this guy, but I'm assuming he's just like, he has like one of those great builds. He's like the California Raisins dad. You know what I mean? He's just like,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. That's snake potato skin. Get out of here. My god.
Oh man, first you get charged with sedition. Then some wiseacre on a podcast calls you snake potato skin. That's a bad week.
Yeah, what oath is he keeping? The one to the clean Fuck! God damn it! I choked! Okay. Okay. What oath is he keeping? The one to the Clean Plate Club? Damn, almost choked.
You got it. That's the beauty.
I don't know if we leave that in or not. Will the world ever know?
No, leave it in. Felix, he's the guy I want with the ball in his hands.
Absolutely.
in the fourth quarter.
I'm the real JR. Sometimes I don't know how much time's left on the clock.
Sometimes women solicit you, and then you're like trying to get the pipe.
Yeah, no, that's how I run. I either run game by being like trying to be like clever, like see like if a woman DMs me and I see something in her profile, and I'm like, oh, Elliott Smith, and then I just totally got it wrong. It's not the wall. She's in front of something that isn't the wall from the Elliott Smith album, and then she just stops messaging me, or I'm like, so what did you major in college besides making me DM you? Or, sometimes I'm feeling alpha. Sometimes, like, the Adderall's really kicking in, and it's like, are you trying to get the pipe? And neither work.
Apparently, Stuart Rhodes, not a cop. He was a former Army man and a firearms instructor when he dropped his gun. But now he's a lawyer. So
they're all lawyers.
Yes, of course.
My favorite guy, they're bringing back this T-cut thing. This was like around when they thought Obama would do gun control. Do you remember the T-cut thing where it was like, did you know that sheriffs actually have authority over the president and the sheriffs are going to arrest a bungler? Yeah.
The sheriffs are like sovereign, like lords of the land, like medieval England style, and they can just arrest anybody.
Yeah. So when around that time they started talking about lawyers like it was Dragon Ball Z, where it was like, this guy is the best lawyer in the world. He's put 70 judges in jail. I've seen a lot of I saw that a lot during TCOD, and now it's coming back for this. There is one guy that Tony showed us where he has a ponytail and like little John Lennon glasses, and he's apparently put hundreds of judges in jail and won millions of dollars suing counties for mask mandates and shit. And they're like, he's about to take on Biden, and then like you look him up, and he's like currently in jail for fraud. But like that, they're all pretending to be lawyers now, or are like shitty lawyers. They like got certified as lawyers, like people get certified to preside over a wedding, right?
Yeah. Well, it's part of the sovereign citizen milieu, which is my favorite thing because it really is Harry Potter for Constitution nerds. Because they genuinely think that there are magic words, and if you tell them to a judge, they have to let you go. They have to obey you. Like there's this, it's like National Treasure, and there's a secret key on the back of the Constitution, and if you know the words, they have to. And it has never. This is the amazing part. There's not a single moment where it has ever worked There's never been a case where it's like, we got you dead to rights for jacking off in front of the flagpole at City Hall or whatever. And they're like, actually, according to the statute of the Admiralty of 1785, I'm not under the jurisdiction of this court. And had the judge go, God damn, he's right.
I mean,
Case dismissed. That's never happened. What happens is they get tased, until they shit themselves, and then they go to jail.
I mean, I wish that were the case. I hate judges. Like, what was Felix that story? That story that
oh my
story you
God,
shared
that
about like
fucking
that judge in Michigan that was like, it was like they're doing all
pig
these
woman.
like it's all over Zoom, and she told a guy who's 73 years old and a cancer patient who was too weak to like mow his fucking lawn, that she was like, you're a disgrace and I would give you jail time if I could for not like cleaning the alley behind your house. And he's like on chemo.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we all out here, we all wish she got a big hug from a terminally ill man. A giant, wonderful hug. But also, just as far as like representing America, she kind of should be on the Supreme Court.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that like
there is no greater like violence done to the American social order than not mowing your lawn, than having a lawn and not taking care of it.
Yeah. And fuck the neighbors for not like none of them are like, oh, we could mow your lawn.
Right?
Man.
It's not my job to mow your lawn.
What a sad
Nobody wants
sad
to
place.
work anymore. No kids want to make a few extra bucks on the side. They're all playing video games. They're all looking at TikToks and shit.
Going back to the Harry Potter for conservatives, you know how we always talk about how we want to make our own Christian movie?
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, we're going to do it. But like,
so.
Yeah, look, I think this could be like, we could just make Harry Potter for conservatives after the Christian movie. The Christian movie is the proof of concept. And then like a chicken magnate in Mississippi will give us the money to make conservative Harry Potter, and it's about like a 39-year-old boy who, like, it's sort of like Harry Potter, like he has a sad life, his wife's a bitch, he's just under the yoke all the time, he's always being told what to do, and one day, like, he gets pulled over, like he does every night. And he thinks it's the field sobriety test. And he's like, okay, I'll do this again. But it's actually Hagrid. And he's like, we've heard you been saying the words posse comitatus, and you're actually like, you're chosen. You were actually like, you were scarred as a child by a judge. And no one remembers it. Like, no, you don't remember it, but that's why you have that scar on your head that's shaped like the naval flag. And it's about him going to conservative Hogwarts, where they all like learn spells to cast on judges.
Your real parents were Oliver North and Fawn Hall.
Yes. Oh my God, I know this is another movie we're making that Oliver North is like really important in, but bear with us.
Sign him to like a 3-picture deal. We got to make sure that he is on set for the whole thing.
Like,
That's how you sell things. When you go into studios, like, it doesn't matter how good your idea is. They want to know who's attached. And if they know that Oliver North is attached, they'll give you unlimited money.
Absolutely.
But back to the what was it? You talked about the Dragon Ball Z shit with it says, like, we were talking about this yesterday, like, whether you are QAnon a person or a liberal who's obsessed with, January 6th and, fascism coming to America. Like, both sides invested in this. It's like watching 40 episodes of Dragon Ball Z where people are just with the scouters or just like, they're like, I've never seen power levels this high! But then literally nothing happens. It's just they're both traveling very long distances, doing push-ups and 100G gravity to prepare for some fucking fight that takes you, like, it takes 60 episodes to get there, and they're like, he's the most powerful we've ever seen, and then the next episode is like, his power levels are even higher.
Yeah, and the thing they're doing is just, like, filming each other on phones.
Well, here's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about Mackinac.
He's doing it.
Let's talk about Biden, because I feel like everyone is mad at Joe Biden right now. Everyone's let's go Brandoning, and to a certain extent they should be. He's the president of the United States. This country sucks. But I gotta say, I really felt Joe last week when, like, he came out to talk about their plans to fucking do filibuster reform or just literally anything. It doesn't matter if it's filibuster reform or anything. It's just him talking about being in charge of the United States government, and he just goes, "Look, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not."
Yes.
And it's just like we've talked about this over and over again, but like Biden is the guy that like is just because it's happening to him too.
Yeah.
It's just we're both holding hands as the forces of history just push us out on an ice floe.
Yep.
And they're like, it's going to be okay, man.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. We're not going to get it done. No big deal.
I like that so much fucking better than like Obama going out there and pretending to cry.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
I was thinking about that. Yeah, talk about gun control when he was like, "Well, Sandy Hook, moral imperative." I mean, I don't even care about gun control, but like, there was that moment where it's like, this is going to be the thing we're going to do, and Obama is going to conjure his old rhetorical wisdom and magnetism to get us across the finish line, and then he cried. He did some fucking fake tears, and then that was just it. They just never talked about it again. But there's still that need to perform this fake concern and fake rending of garments instead of guy just coming out being like, yeah, ice cream machine's broke, buddy.
Yeah, he's the perfect guy for it. I mean, like, there is theoretically a way for the president to like use the bully pulpit to pass something, to like try to sway public opinion. The last time I saw Obama do it after he cried once and just gave up was in 2016 when he was going on late night shows to demand we pass TPP. Which was it's like, oh, so that's what got you off the couch, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing else, just that. Interesting. And also, that probably did demonstrable harm to Hillary.
Oh,
I would say
sure.
the TPP shit, which is very funny. But I mean, Biden's not doing that.
No.
Biden's not going to get off the couch for anything. Like, they are working so hard to get him outside like once a week.
Yeah.
And everyone knows he's not going to do it. He's not going to bully pulpit it. I think if they were just committing to like, we're going to give him so many stimulants, he's going to die in 2 years, I think it would kind of work. Because like the more people saw him just eat ice cream and be like, oh, we need to pass this, I think he'd go back up. But truly, his job is telling you the ice cream machine's broke.
Yeah.
He's
Although
like,
I do like the idea of them just giving him the Pulp Fiction adrenaline needle and then sending him out onto fucking like Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon to like play carpool karaoke or whatever, and just he starts bleeding from the eye sockets halfway through because his body can't handle the strain of being up past 9 p.m.
Dude, he's like Cinderella. The eye turns back into like just a lump of blood if he's the second the sun goes down. Can't ride home in that carriage.
The National Bereavement Counselor, it's just like, he's like, look, the Taliban defeated us. COVID also defeated us.
Yep.
Like, it's just...
Don't worry, we're still going to kill plenty of Afghans, but not with drones. No, we're just going to do sanctions on them until they all starve to death. Nice and quiet.
And he can do it because he's a loser.
He is a loser, and he doesn't mind being one.
Obama's not a loser. Like he is, like you are sort of a loser if you're like, oh, I'm going to snake my best friends to meet John Legend. That in your spirit, that is like a loser thing to do.
He
but
is a vile scumbag, but he has throughout his life only really succeeded on his own terms.
Yeah.
Whereas Biden has just eaten shit his entire life.
Yeah. And he's the best at this.
Yeah.
He's the best at telling you we're out of stock.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, what are you going to do? It's like, because you get to the store, and you're like, he says, yeah, we don't have it. And you're like, what? It said it was on the internet. And the person telling you it is just this confused old man who's like, what do you want me to do, buddy? It's like, yeah, I guess you've got a point. It just drains it out of you, because what are you going to do? You're going to yell at this old scarecrow with dementia? Some people are very committed to that, though. And I really don't get how it's satisfying.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, they're miserable.
But like the people like that I see yelling at him now, not the Let's Go Brandon people who we love and support.
Of course.
Yeah, we're part of that movement.
Yeah, we founded that movement.
And we get 5 cents every time someone says Let's Go Brandon.
Dude, my money's so good.
Yeah, our money's, dude, we're caked up. We're the real heat. You should see how we're living out here right now.
No, but like specifically on like COVID shit, because it is funny that like just as many people are dying of COVID this year than last.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure he came in with like, we're gonna trust science. We're gonna end COVID or whatever. Well, like, obviously that isn't the case. But you know what? Like, thanks to the Trump vaccine, it's just like, sure, he could just pay everyone to stay home or close the borders or whatever. But we all know that's not going to happen. And if you spent the last like year before COVID being like, fuck Joe Biden, I'm never voting for the Democrats. Like, you can't get fucking angry that he's not doing enough to fucking like.
Thing.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like,
you know who this is, right? You've all known who this guy is. I get being like annoyed that this country is the way it is, but there should be no surprise or betrayal at the attitudes of these people. They were pretty clear. Yeah, I mean, they lied their asses off to get in, but like, you didn't believe him at the time, did you? When they were saying, we're going to roll up our sleeves at day one and everyone's going to get testing capability and we're going to do contact tracing. Remember that one?
Oh my God. Imagine trying to do contact tracing in America. Like, your computer comes up, you're trying to triangulate phones like in South Korea, and you keep getting pop-ups for Bonzi Buddy. Imagine us trying to do anything like that. Like, it's done. It's done. It's just like, on the episode of The Bester, we talked about like the hypothetical of how Trump could have like kept COVID from coming here. And the conclusion we came to is like, it's nearly like, you have to close the borders, you have to do contact tracing, you have to like nationalize food production and all this shit to bring down the amount of like trucks per person needed to fulfill the American consumption profile.
And there's no will to do that
with
any level of it.
Yeah, and with Biden, it's like, he didn't like stop Omicron. And it's like, yeah, there was a window to do it like 3 months ago. Like, same thing, close the border.
We blew it, folks.
Yeah.
We blew it.
No one can come in. No one can, like, do like a full lockdown, the likes of which we've never seen. And we didn't do it.
We didn't do it. Nobody wants that. And I'm just like, I don't know. We were talking about this the other day too, but like, I'm just so sick of people complaining about COVID like now, because it's like, either get vaccinated or don't, but like, it's over if you fucking want it. Like, there's nothing that you can't do now. Like, you go to a concert, go to a bar, they're open, restaurants, like social life is available to you. And like, if you've exercised your rationality to whatever degree that like it makes sense to you that like you haven't gotten vaccinated at this point, then go with God. You're free. Like, you've exercised your free decision. And, like, whether you're against mandates or whatever, like, that complicates matters. But, like, I'm just sick of the people who are, like, been vaccinated, like, 10 times already. And they're just, like, live tweeting, I just got a positive test result or whatever. And it's just, like, or they're just complaining about, like, other people going out and having a social life or whatever. It's just, like...
As is usually the case, the solution to these problems lies in resegregating the internet.
Yes.
And one big way would be to literally have a different social media platform for people with children and one for people without children. Because I really do feel like if you've got a kid and they've got to go to school right now, I don't know how you think about anything else other than fucking COVID, because it seems like an absolute fucking nightmare to try to parse that thing. But if you're just a person, and you don't work in education and you don't have kids, I honestly don't know why it has to be like the fulcrum of your attention all the time at this point.
Right. Well, like, the thing that, like, going to what Will said, like, the thing that does drive me crazy is people who are like literally going on vacation, like traveling thousands of miles in like early to mid-December, being like, this country's a disaster. We're killing everyone. It's like, what were you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what is the line for when you're supposed to start caring again or stop caring again? It's arbitrary. And I do get like looking at the massive number of dead and looking at how unprepared in every way, both things that we gutted over 40 years, whether it's fucking hospital capacity or just anyone having a GP, people going to hospitals now because they like, that's the only way they can get healthcare. Or just, like whether it's the mandate got struck down or fucking whatever, us not really being able to do contact tracing. I get being frustrated with that, but again, it's like, I like when was it like December 12th when your personal habits start counting again? It's just very arbitrary with people.
I think everybody is going through everyone is going through their own personal Kubler-Ross cycle on this new reality, and this is a thing that I think we pretty much called even at the very beginning of COVID. Like, okay, what is realistically? How is this going? What's the end game here? And I think what we came to the conclusion was that the most likely outcome was that a ton of people dying, which at early COVID was something that everyone was acting like we were going to take seriously and try to prevent, would eventually, instead of being stopped, would just be culturally normalized. And
like cars.
Like cars, like school shootings, like anything else that you just take for granted as a risk of living in the United States. And that is now pretty clearly the path that we're on. But we couldn't just all in last year say that. We have to go through the process of all finding out for ourselves just how broken and dysfunctional this country is, just how far our understanding of what civic capacity are and what they actually are. And so we're all coming to the realization that, we are eventually going to get to a point where all of this real, powerful emotional reaction to the true horror of just being six-figure death tolls a year, pretty much just it's like weather. That is a horrible thing to come to some sort of peace with, and it does feel like a surrender to say we're going to just treat this like anything else in this country. But it's also the alternatives to that just shed every moment of every day, and everybody is just going through their own personally calibrated Kubler-Ross cycle, getting to acceptance of it. But along the way, people are going to keep denying and expressing rage and depression in the interim.
Yeah, I mean, I think on every side of it, people ascribe a set of highly articulated, overarching motives. Whether it's they're trying to kill people, or on the other side of it, the permanent mask mandates in universities and some municipalities, that's part of a global control scheme. Right. And it's in both cases, it's sort of wishful thinking.
Yeah. Because
I don't know how you can look at any of this and be people there's a comprehensive goal that people could stick to for 2 years. Okay, why are universities where people are 99.8% boosted, why are they taking students to housing deposits and going back online and screaming at students who slip their fucking mask off to take a drink of water in a class? Not because it's a social control scheme as much as it is what is a university and what do some municipalities in blue cities and states have to look like they're doing? Yeah. They have to look like they're doing something, and they have to cover their ass. Yeah. That's what everyone in America is doing. Yes. They're covering their ass so this thing can so we can keep doing the thing we were doing.
They're pandering to who they have to pander to. And on a college campus with a bunch of young people and professors and everyone, people who are largely liberal and have absorbed the liberal morality structure of COVID, they have to be very serious about it. Even though all they really want is your fucking, they want your housing department.
To keep running their hedge fund.
To keep running their fucking hedge fund. And then in places where it's a bunch of death-driven broomers who don't even want to hear about COVID, you got to keep things open and go for it. It is just petty tyrants in every nest of social order pandering to the expectations of the people that they're trying to fleece, basically.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess I for a while was sort of on the fence about the larger conspiratorial explanation about COVID. Not that it was deliberately released or anything. I don't think that. But the idea that this is being used as a way to enforce some sort of bioterror scheme. I could see why people find that compelling, certainly when you consider the uptake in awareness generally of other conspiracies and other modes of life, and I can see why people can see what's going on and kind of latch onto that narrative. But I don't know how you watch the last year under Biden, from last spring when they said as soon as cases started going down after the first vaccine, first widespread vaccination push, to say CDC say no more masks. You don't have to wear masks anymore. Don't worry about it. Because they wanted to win. They wanted a fucking win. They wanted to say, hey, well, Biden's in, and now you don't have to wear masks. And then they came back up, and it's like, fuck, we have to put the mask on. But they clearly didn't want to do that. And then the idea that there's any kind of idea of a bio-fascist regime requires this concerted effort by government, like big business, and the media to get everybody on with masks and vaccine mandates. And if that's the case, then why the shit, after the mass vaccination had been like moved towards, did you see so much in the mainstream press about breakthrough infections?
Yes.
Those stories have been buried the way that like the truth about ivermectin and shit was buried. If you really think that the government and is directing through the media a like narrative to get you on board with globo homo or whatever the fuck, that they would not have repress that so people got fucking vaccinated. Instead, the media does what their short-term interest is: stoke panic and anxiety, because that's what people fucking pay attention to. That's what people click on. And you had all these stories about how, people still get sick if they've got the vaccine. And how the shit does that help your imagined New World Order to do that, when your assumption is that these people are shaping the narrative?
Right. And there are overarching conspiracies in American life.
Right.
But at the same time, they're doing that. They're doing like what will instantly help us right now. CNN that like has bled 90% of its viewership. Right. Oh my God, what the fuck can we do? Oh, actually, the vaccine doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Whoops. And, completely muddies the water, and that sort of shit probably helps plateau vaccination rates. And there are thousands of people who I feel like would still be alive.
Yeah.
At the same time, when you go to like Los Angeles or San Francisco and you see people doing like it's like March 2020, they're doing like the lineup outside the store thing. Mm-hmm. And you get like in LA where it's like exactly the same case counts as New York. No one really like looks at all the extra stuff they do in LA versus like New York and goes like, oh, this is really doing something. It's just like, oh, we have to feel like there's someone's doing anything at all. Yeah. We had like there has to be, that's their short-term interest. Yeah. We have to look like our municipal government is in some ways responsible.
Yes.
Even with Omicron, it's kind of, you're going to get the same thing.
And people want to feel individually like they're participating in some sort of civic project to make things better. At least some people who have been acculturated to, one set of values, the school lover values. They want to feel like they're doing something. They don't want to feel like one of them, one of those Neanderthals who doesn't care about other people. And so they want to give some sort of active definition to their values, which of course everybody does.
Yeah.
But at this point, I mean, it doesn't really seem like it has any efficacy beyond just helping you through the stages.
If we're going to turn to the subject of petty tyrants for a second, I'd like to talk about parents. And,
yes,
Matt, like your idea for a segregated internet, and like the thing is, like that already exists, and like my thing is, like I have expressed no opinions, nor do I hold any opinions as it regards COVID and schools, whether they should be open or not.
Yeah,
like I have no opinion about that because I don't have kids.
Right.
Right. So it's not an issue for me. Like I assume there's probably good arguments for and against. Not my thing. Not interested. Not a pedophile.
Yeah. No, if you're a childless man and you're like, oh, we need to open the high schools. If that's like the only thing you talk about, it's like, hold up, what's up?
Because remember, you're not your desire for it to happen isn't going to make it happen one way or the other. Like these decisions are being made by stakeholders who have been insulated from any of your preferences, because your preferences can only be expressed in powerless fashion.
Right. And it's a debate I'm glad I don't have to weigh in on, because
Honestly,
it's like 20% of the teachers on any given day are going to have COVID, but then it's like, what the fuck do you do for single parent households or households where both parents work all day, which is a lot. It's tough. I'm glad I don't have to solve the problem. But if I did, I would start new schools that are in sports stadiums that are taught by people who don't care about getting COVID, which can be anyone.
Yeah.
They don't even have to, just for a month until like Omicron's done. And then we teach racism and CRT
at the same time. So
and yeah. And
that's the controversy.
And that's like IB and AP. And if you're do really good on like international baccalaureate racism, you get to go to like Vanderbilt. Or if you're good at CRT, you go to New School, and that's
But to your point, Matt, like this segregation on the internet already exists. If you have children and are on Twitter, just keep it to yourself. If you want to talk about your kids, go to Facebook. As soon as you become parents, you should just move from Twitter to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what I'll say though. The core, a certain core of the petty tyrants I'm talking about, the media moms and dads who are, for instance, Jonathan Chait today in New York Magazine compared the decision to keep schools closed as long as they were to the decision to invade Iraq. It's something that he supported, by the way.
Yeah, is it good or bad?
Yeah,
and when you're talking about
what?
the vendetta these people already have against public teachers unions to begin with. I mean, I assume like most of their kids go to private school anyway, so I don't understand what the fuck their problem is.
There's clearly an agenda here. Like that's the thing. I
mean, Jonathan Chait's wife works for a charter school corporation, right? But like, my point is, whether it's Jonathan Chait or Matt Iglesias or like the really the parents of this class of people who are really want schools to be open, even though they already have jobs that are essentially work from home jobs that are essentially you could parent all day and work all day, no problem.
Yeah,
you send a couple emails, write an article, you could homeschool your kids and still be making bank the way they do. I think like the issue going on here is that COVID has Catherine made this point, and it's that like COVID has stripped away all of the sort of cheat codes that upper middle class people have for like offloading parenting.
yeah
they stripped them of that, and now they're just home with their awful kids all day. And for a guy like Chait or Iglesias or whatever, just seeing the smaller version of themselves who have imbibed through osmosis or otherwise all of their values and genetic material is unbearable for them. So they'll do anything to get the schools open again.
Yeah. They just rid me of this demon, this fucking homunculus just hovering in a corner of my vision, reminding me of all of my own like basest failures as a human being. Could someone please take care of this for me?
Yeah, no. So yeah, like if you want to talk mom and dad stuff, take it to Facebook.
No.
Twitter is for the childless, asocial, maladroits.
Yeah. Twitter is for if you don't have a kid or you like don't know about your kid, or like if you're not involved in their life, you can say.
Yeah.
If that's like if you're like I'm a parent, but that doesn't define me.
Yeah.
So you can stay with us.
Yeah.
You can do the banter.
Yeah. Okay, you can be on Twitter if you complain about family court.
Yeah.
The oppression of fathers to the family court system. That's okay.
Well, people need to know that.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. If you're on my as a parent shit, leave.
Facebook's right there. It's
take that shit to
you.
Facebook. So I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
Don't care. Don't give a shit.
You can go live on Facebook. You can do all types of shit. Did you ever see that thing where it was like, it was this woman who's like, I'm going out to smoke. Someone watch my kids for me, and goes on Facebook Live. And people are in the comments and they're like, get off the table. Why doesn't Chait do that?
Oh man. I gotta say though,
like a guy like Jonathan Chait or Matt Iglesias writes like a contrarian case for why it's actually not a big deal to put your kid in a hot car.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone got super pissed at Iglesias the other day for that tweet he did about like, my advice for aspiring writers is to position yourself as a contrarian conservative, like, or just sort of take like a heterodox thinker who takes conservative positions from like a like liberal left wing point of view, which is like exactly his entire career.
Right.
And guess what? He's telling you what works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, can anyone possibly state that Iglesias like that very thing that he's describing that he has like lived his entire life and professional career on hasn't worked for
Yeah.
him. The dude is a fucking millionaire several times over.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, obviously you can, like, it's such a shitty world we live in where, that kind of thoughtless careerism is rewarded, where it just, like, serving Satan in this life brings you punishment in the next, hopefully. Yeah. But certainly, we all see the rewards in this life.
Yeah.
That's the important part. So, like, he's telling you the truth.
And he's not even charging for it.
Yeah.
He could do like a master class on how to be a disgusting pustule on the ass of the media, and he could give you those tips for like hundreds of dollars, just like Hillary Clinton can teach you the secret history of winning.
Yeah, dude, a lot of people have taught some bullshit classes just off their name. They get one of those vanity lecturer jobs. He could actually tell you how to get a bag.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that he's a bag chaser.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's thoroughly talentless in every other regard, but, like, there is no way you can make the case that Iglesias is not, like, one of the best media social climbers that has ever existed.
He's willing to do what it takes. Like, just the number of portfolios he's given to himself over the years. Like, hey, I'm a foreign policy guy. You guys
Housing
don't like
expert.
foreign policy anymore? I'm the macro econ guy. You
Yeah.
guys don't care about that?
Yeah.
What about housing?
Remember 1 billion
Now it's, hey,
Americans?
billion Americans.
1
How about
billion
that?
Americans.
That was his strongest work. That was his strongest
Dude,
work.
it was
When
so
he was
good.
like no condom gang, that was awesome. He should go back to that. That shit was tight.
COVID has put that dream ever more distant.
Yeah.
I don't know why though, because it's like, okay, we definitely need more people now.
Yeah,
Like,
certainly. We got to get these jobs filled.
it's like you should
Nobody
be.
wants to work anymore.
Yeah.
But tiny little people who are very impressionable, you could get them to work.
Well, it's like you should, instead of like shaming people for like wearing a mask the wrong way or whatever, you should shame everyone who's using condoms. Get them fired, because we need 1 billion Americans like right now.
You need to get going.
Yeah.
You need to get slapping.
Yeah, like whenever like Jewish people talk about like what do we do versus what our like grandparents or great grandparents did, we all of us work for WeWork. I'm not supposed to let you in on this. We all worked at WeWork. That's the type of stuff we do. You know what our grandparents and great grandparents did? They're like, oh, he like took a canoe from Russia, and then he found a bunch of rocks and walked to Omaha to start a rock store, and became middle class. And that's
literally what my great grandparents on my dad's side of the family
exactly
came from Russia.
Exactly.
And then, like, there was like out of all the brothers, like, one of them tried to start a collective dairy farm in upstate New York.
Yeah. Well, that's like, if there are 1 billion Americans, the only thing left to do is like, okay, you have to go to North Dakota and like start a sock factory. we just all, what is a good life? A good life is that you're constantly reliving a 3-year period of your adult life, right? You get to redo it. You're replaying your favorite game on New Game Plus with new challenges and new NPCs. Right. Why not like have 1 billion people, and obviously can't keep them all in the same place. They have to go to like the vast unincorporated stretches of this country. And you have to just be like, okay, you have to start the arts district of like Nebraska. Like, just go and do it.
I like the idea about shaming people for using condoms and birth control. So it's like, remember, like, like at the height of COVID, like if anyone betrayed anything on social media, like they were out of the house or traveling or whatever, you could just crawl up their ass. The thing, like your favorite writer, social media influencer, podcaster, if like you see their Instagram post or it's just something that's a little bit more personal, just zero in on the items in their bedroom. If you see any evidence of condoms,
any contraceptives,
just, smoke them, smoke their ass.
Yeah,
put that shit on blast.
Having an IUD should be the same thing as having a swastika carved into your wall. And that's facts.
Yep.
It's like, we got to keep this thing going.
We got to keep it. And the only way we can is to just mass breeding.
1 billion Americans.
1 billion
that was so good.
That was tight.
That was awesome.
That was tight.
The thing I like about that is because obviously he's going for, we need to compete with China. But it's like, okay, by the time we get 1 billion Americans, how many Chinese are there going to be? Like 5 billion? Like we will not ever be able to catch up unless like part of his deal is, oh yeah, we also nuke China. I forgot that part.
Right.
We destroy their like top 10 population centers so that we can catch up.
Okay, but China obviously doing a lot of things better than us in most things. One
Creating
thing,
artificial suns.
creating artificial. That was so funny. All those like dumbasses, it's just clearly a rocket, and they're like, China made a new sun, and no one's talking about this.
A sun.
Fucking like,
You know what a sun is?
how fucking stupid do you have to be to like see a bunch of people standing around a beach looking at like a bright flash and be like, oh, it's obvious they created a new sun.
Yep, they did a sun.
How fucking dumb do you have to be?
Like they were like, oh, China created a new sun, and it's just like it was like, to what purpose? To what end?
Yeah.
Like,
What, like, oh my, like, it's amazing. I saw Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek post about it, and it's like, I'm a free speech fundamentalist, but I think actors should not be allowed to touch anything resembling news. The thing he saw that he was co-tweeting was from something called rapnews.tv. And even that's like too much for him. That's like too stupid. He like is trying to create a new Cold War because of rapnews.tv. Like, that's too much for him. He cannot handle it.
I guess I'm trying to think of what you would do with the artificial sun. One thing you could do.
Really, unlimited energy source?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, but I mean, well, hold on. If you're making
Where would you store it, though?
If you're making another sun, then that's just you still have to make like the solar panels and stuff. You
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
Fix that. I guess what you could do if you wanted to like increase productivity is have as soon as the original sun sets, you bring up the artificial sun, get rid of the nighttime, and have everybody go on Da Vinci sleep, where they're sleeping for 30 minutes every 3 hours and no like full sleep in that way.
That's what Da Vinci did?
Yeah, well,
God, that would-
allegedly. It's
Okay,
probably not.
that would drive you insane.
Cap.
That was-
Excuse me. Look at the results. He did a cool naked drawing of a guy with a
No
bunch
one
of
had
arms.
seen a penis before.
Yeah. He was the first guy to be brave enough to
Yeah.
be like everyone in history who had a penis thought it was just a freak mutation. And he was the first one to be like, okay, I have this. And then people were like, wait, me too.
He thought up a non-functioning helicopter. Come on.
Yeah. He knew Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. He thought up an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, dude, he
Imagine
was tight.
An entire nation of 1.3 billion Da Vincis.
Oh my God.
They would terraform. Fuck Mars. They would terraform Earth. They would re-terraform Earth with the power of their ingenuity and insight. Honestly, I'm excited now. I hope that China is doing this.
But
Our only hope.
we're talking about the artificial sun, but like things that they do better. One thing that we do that I've never seen an American president get praised for, we have equal amounts of men and women.
Yeah.
They do not.
That's true.
I think slightly more women, but it's just like there's parity has been achieved.
Yeah, they have like 300 million extra dudes.
There is a population in China. I think I read this that that is equivalent to the United States of
Yes,
America.
yes.
That is like single men.
300 million extra dudes.
Yeah.
That's
Sausage party.
That's tough, man.
That's
That's
not
fucking tough.
Yeah.
That's how they're creating
sucks.
the new sun. They're just gonna walk all of them into it.
Yeah. What the fuck? If you know that there's 300 million extra of you, fuck, dude. And it's like I have been trying in my spare time to invent a surgery or pill that makes you gay, just to solve problems in my own life. And
I should do that.
honestly, that should be high on their list.
Yeah, no,
Some
that
sort of gay vaccine. Maybe that's
Maybe that's it.
I
Global homo. Global
We
homo
just
is real.
realized
Global
they
homo is
literally
real.
are turning everyone gay with the vaccine so that they will stop bothering all those poor women.
Like
that's like,
wouldn't
dude,
everyone be
imagine.
happier if that was the case.
I mean, it solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, well, why do you think I've been trying to make it? Just in my kitchen. But like, that is, George Bush did it, Barack Obama did it, Bill Clinton did it. Every year they're like, let's make sure we create as many boys as we do girls.
Yeah.
They all did. They all worked hard on it.
We're not
It's like,
leaving any girls up on the top of cliffs. We're not putting any of them in wells. None of this.
Well, I mean, it's just like they creating a good party vibe is essential for any nation state, and like a fucking ratio like that. If you showed up to that party,
Ooh, you're leaving
300 million
immediately.
Chinese guys playing beer pong.
oh no, that's awesome. I'm sorry. Like, okay, that's awesome. You don't have to get pussy at every party you go to.
Especially if you've had the vaccine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all those guys I saw, all the 300 million extra Chinese guys playing beer pong, they're handsome. I'm also working on a thing that gives me a uterus. And maybe they can knock me up and I can create some girls for them. I don't know. It's like, dude, what did we say at the end of the year? We were like, you can't predict anything in God's world.
true, yeah.
You just got to be You got to put on your best smile. One smile can change the world. Yep. One good attitude can change your day. A good handshake can change your life. You never know what's going to happen. There's so much unexpected stuff. What if that happens?
Yeah.
So don't like walk into the party and be like, oh no, there's 300 million extra dudes. Be like, what is God telling me here?
Yeah.
But I mean, that said, it's like we are ready to breed them. Breed ourselves. Like by M, I mean us. Like we're ready to like just breed 700 million more people.
We can do it. We can do it. We got to get.
I mean, Matty Iglesias would be a perfect candidate to have a uterus and stuff. Have wounds installed in him. Or several.
I mean, not just. I have wide hips for a man. Yeah. It made me really good at Muay Thai, and now I think like it could make me good at delivering kids.
Yeah, let's do it. Like let's get it away to like if you don't want to have kids, you don't have to because that's bad. You shouldn't impose that on anybody. But now using science, you can make it so that anybody who's like, hey, that'd be cool to be bred and to pop out some kids is capable of it. So
yeah,
like, I'd like to give it a shot, and then boom, you can have kids.
I don't know. Honestly, though, low-key, though, this sounds like eugenics to me.
yeah, no, this is eugenics.
Yeah.
God damn, a lot of eugenics happening.
There's so much. Oh
Everything's
my god,
eugenics. It's weird.
Yeah,
like the vaccine. That's eugenics. That's absolutely eugenics.
Not
getting the vaccine.
Also
that's also eugenics. Yeah.
The Burger King Big Kids Club. That's eugenics. Some kids aren't cool.
Yeah, it's true. Weight Watchers. Guess
eugenics.
What? That's eugenics, right?
Yeah. That's like, man, that was everyone's word of the day, huh,
yeah,
man?
Everyone decided.
God damn.
I'm a genius now.
Did you see the new one about the idea of physical fitness and health overall is eugenics.
It's eugenics.
Facts. Curves gyms, like those are basically like little Bergen-Belsens. I heard that the leg press is made out of human skin. It just, I don't know, yeah.
Would you like Arbeit mocked fries with that?
But once again, it's like the tip of the eugenics thing. It's all people who don't have kids that are complaining about this shit. It's just
it's like you are actually, you know what? By making the decision
by self-selecting
to
your
not
own
have kids,
yeah.
Guess what? You're doing eugenics.
By self-selecting that your own genetic code will end with you. You're doing eugenics to yourself.
Yep.
That's the worst kind of eugenics.
I did have a friend who was on this before anyone. Shout out to her. In like 2013, she was like, "Would you have kids one day?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably." And she was like, "Well, that's eugenics." Like to, I wanted to like, she was like in grad school. I wanted to like call her parents, like I found heroin on her or something, but like just being like, she's taking too much college. She's like overdosed on college. It's like not okay.
I mean, people talk about Fent. Fent is obviously a very big deal. We've got, record overdoses now. More people are dying of opioid overdoses than ever right now.
Yeah, opiate whack-a-mole.
And now, but the college overdoses are also getting out of control. People are really ODing on college, and they're able to get it now in bite-sized portions on TikTok and whatnot. And that's just like, hey, first taste is free. Let me do a little decolonialization dance for you. And then the next thing you know, you were just mainlining college.
And it's exactly like Fent, because it's like it's the bad college supply is obviously it's getting into like regular college users. they're already ODing.
Recreational college users are becoming more and more strung out.
Yeah, they're getting bad college, but like also like people who aren't college users, they're using the bad college, as just a replacement, like Coke users, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I saw her talk about plant forming someone.
Yeah,
that symbolizes someone who like took Coke that had fentanyl in it. It's like, no, Marjorie, you got bad college. You're not supposed to know that word. What the fuck? Never say platforming ever again. God. There's too much college out there. Like we have to close.
That is the inverse of the base lib, the drill team. Is that it's weird now, especially with vaccination and stuff. Conservatives are starting to talk about bodies and spaces.
They love talking about bodies and spaces.
Switch them up. That's what we were saying. That's the only like new exciting thing we can do is like have conservatives do like Robin DiAngelo stuff, talk about platforming, and they are
starting to do it.
Yeah, they're into it. Everyone like they know they want to do it because
they love it because it's so inherently self-righteous and just like baby brain. Like it's perfectly suited to their fucking their mode of being.
And everyone in America, their only thing they care about, if you're into politics, if you're a sicko who's into politics, the only thing you actually care about is like, do you feel bad for me?
Yeah.
And that's what they were doing anyway. And like it's perfect for them. And then the libs can have their own like frog.
Yeah.
I can't.
A friend of ours saw and took a picture of it for Instagram, a Kelvin decal on the back of someone's car in California, and he was peeing on the word Republican.
Yes.
It's happening. The great convergence is happening.
We have to go into the lab. What's the liberal frog going to be?
We've tried to figure out what the liberal frog should be before. I don't know if we ever settled on
it's like we were saying earlier. Like you cannot know God's path. You just have to walk it. And like
You're right.
something maybe it won't be a frog, but like something will be the equivalent of.
So how about? I know I can't force it, and it's just like it's in God's hands, and maybe it won't even be a frog. Maybe they'll have like an ugly drawing of like an anteater, and they'll be like, "This is what we post when like a conservative dies," like whatever. What if though, if it's got to be a frog, Michigan J. Frog?
Ooh,
because he's into entertainment, and like liberals love entertainment. I mean, every American does, but like liberals are.
They think that
everyone
they're like good guys.
Yeah. Like. I think that would be a good liberal frog. If you're a base lib, start posting that guy.
Yep. Every story of somebody getting owned, like the toddler shoots them with their own gun, or they didn't get vaccinated and they're on a ventilator. It's just a little gif of Michigan J. Frog walking past, doing the kicks.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta say, like as far as the bad college epidemic, I was like talking about like I know I said I didn't have an opinion on like kids being in school and up. Like honestly, the opinion I do have is I could imagine myself having like a high school or college experience like over the last 2 years, and I would like it seems horrible.
Absolutely.
It seems
man.
unbearable because
Seems like shit.
Like having college, but like you never leave your dorm and you're on your laptop all the time. Like the worst. Like high school, like probably the worst times of your life, the worst experiences of your life. But then there's like absolutely no possibility that you can like get drunk, do drugs, and get laid. You have to just like do college, but on your laptop.
Yeah.
Or high school, even worse. Oh,
yeah.
God damn it.
Going into debt to take Zoom classes. I feel fucking bad for them, man. Like it's really fucking sad, man.
And like just elementary school kids too. Just it looks like there's there's nothing that isn't just awful. Like
because
the options are just shit.
Dire.
I mean, like, because like for the most part, like, like it's just like kids, like young kids, because it's now like going on 2 years. Like that could be like a third of your youth.
Yeah.
Like the times that you remember of like being young and free, but like again, like it's just not having any, like when you're a kid, like the good part about being a kid is like you feel like, oh, like I'm not free because like, I have like rules imposed on me by parents or, like schools, authority, you're at the whim of like other people's schedules and things like bedtimes or whatever. But really, you as an adult, you remember it as the freest you ever were because there were no expectations upon you, and you had no sense of like really responsibilities or anything. Like you could just simply exist.
Yeah,
and I think that's the horrible thing about like with COVID, like this sense of like moral weight that's been like shifted off onto young people.
Yeah,
yes,
it cannot be good.
I feel awful for like college age kids because they very much internalize that like if they like see their friends at all, they're selfish. If they take down their N95 to like take a sip of water, they're selfish. And they're like, they really did a lot, like everything that was asked of them. And just with no off ramp. It's very sad. Like I've seen people talk about like people who aren't ideologically aligned one way or the other talk about how like everyone their age is just kind of like socially fucked.
Yeah.
It's really sad. It's really tragic, man.
But they've got TikTok though, so it's okay.
Yeah. There's so many great like comedian. I have to be racist to be funny. Socialist kids on TikTok. Watch this. Woo! Doing a dance, and then they like label their potted plant capitalism, and their cat is Marx, and that's dope.
They do a land acknowledgement at Six Flags.
Yeah. Oh man. I've told this idea to a few people that I trust the most.
By the way, if you say it on a podcast, though, it's like copywriting it.
Okay.
No, you
Okay, I
can
won't
sue
say it.
anyone who tries.
No.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Steals this
Anyone
idea.
who steals this idea.
Just saying, like it's copyright. Felix
Right.
Peterman, Chapo
I said this to Hassan. He thinks it's a bad idea. I said this to my brother twice. He did what he never did and ignored my text. And I had to make an Instagram story for him to acknowledge that he received it, and then he was nice about it. Basically, no one thinks this is a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
You are the only guys who think it's a good idea.
Believe in you, dude.
Thank you. All we need to start this is $300 million.
Yeah, nothing.
So, everyone loves Six Flags. Everyone loves roller coasters. When you talk about roller coasters to adults, they're like, oh my God, when was the last time I was on a roller coaster? Because it's not part of your adult life. Because you go to Six Flags, it's like Facebook. It's for people with kids.
Yep.
And yeah, you can get drunk there. You can buy like a cocktail with a twisty straw. But, around like, I don't even know when Six Flags closes. I'm going to assume like midnight at the latest.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do, though, if you're a young man, or maybe a not so young man who's recently been put on, allowed to be on Raya? What do you do if you love fun? You love roller coasters. You love going up and down and in a loop. Well, you can't exactly ask the girls on Raya to go to Six Flags. No, that would be ridiculous because it's for kids.
Yeah.
But what if there was a Six Flags for adults?
Yes. Exactly.
It's open from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
All the rides are painted in like tasteful, sort of refinement culture colors, like matte black and shit.
Yes.
But it's all classics. American Eagle, sick. The Batman ride, sick.
The ride, that's my favorite Six
Hell
Flags
yeah.
roller coaster.
But it's like Batman.
The
Batman
Viper, that one's really good.
Viper's dope. Batman the ride, we're going to have to like redo it because this is geared towards upper middle class people. This is Marriage Story the ride. But it's still the same ride, but it's not Batman anymore.
So like in Six Flags, it's like all the characters are from the Warner Brothers canon. Like you see Bugs, and Daffy or whatever. Okay, adult Six Flags, all of the characters and like the general vibe and look of it is the high school from Euphoria.
Yes.
Because there's nothing people in their 30s like more than the high school in Euphoria.
Yes.
I do love it.
Yes.
Watching the antics of those high school kids.
We all wish we could have gone to Euphoria High School. I mean, it looks really fun.
Yeah, and you can experience it at the Adult Six Flags.
I love the...
And like a key part of it is that everyone at Adult Six Flags is like, with your ticket, you were issued Molly.
Yes.
Since you go to the amusement park.
You are peaking the second you get to the height of American Eagle. And like, there are safe places to do, like, whatever your drugs is. Like, obviously, we're going to sell cocktails, and we're not going to sell the things at Six Flags that are like, the rootin' tootin' blueberry flutin'.
Martinis, old fashions.
Yeah.
Classic, Dean Martin kind of cocktails.
Yes. In New York City, pandemic style to-go cocktail containers. And you could do that, but you can also do all the drugs. If Future talks about doing this drug, you can do it at Adult Six Flags. Perks, Molly, Coke, like even the strongest form of weed known as Dro. You can do that. And you can obviously, like, you can just go there normally, pay normal admissions fees. That's if you're taking a Tinder date. If you're like a young up-and-comer, you're not balling yet. If you're a Raya guy, or just anyone can buy this, if they want. They can buy an annual pass for, I think, $12,500.
Steal.
Yeah.
Pays for itself after 2 visits.
Yeah, that's like, you get the TSA pre where you can get to the front of, you have to be able to have a VIP thing to get to the front of all the lines to all of the rides, because then you get that like cool Henry Hill experience every time you go on. Yes.
All the lines are with velvet ropes instead of those just metal stanchions.
Yes.
I'm walking.
And if you have the VIP thing, they let you in.
I'm walking to the Six Flags for Adults Copacabana Club through the kitchen in the VIP line. Barney and Baby Bop. Every time I come here, you two. Every time. No, there has to be a Barney club.
Yes.
There has to be a Barney club experience where, like, every night, a Barney's doing a show. He's mingling with the crowd. He's doing 1-2 buckle my shoe. He's doing all this.
Yeah. He's doing, like Barney would have a residency at Adult Six Flags.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there has to be gambling. Is there should be gambling here
Absolutely.
as well? Okay, so it's like a casino with roller. I mean, this is just Vegas that you're describing.
Yeah, but like Vegas, but with like the rides are more the focus.
More rides and like carnival games and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but like the carnival games, because this is all like you're doing the thing where you shoot the ducks, but you have a real gun. And you're
like Vegas.
Yeah, no, it does, but it's
but you concentrate it all into a space, and you have way more rides because Vegas only has a couple of rides.
Right, Vegas is gambling with rides. This is mainly 75
gambling.
Yeah, 75 to 80% rides, 20% gambling. Barney's Club is going to be the new 40/40 Club. I think this is like, it's such a fucking sick idea. Like, dude, you don't even, I know I talked about this, like, this is a place that you take Raya dates or Tinder dates or whatever. But, like, you don't even have to, like, you can just go out with your boys.
Yeah.
Are you one of the 300 million extra Chinese men?
Free admission for all excess Chinese males.
Yeah. Dude, I bet they have this in China, though. They probably have, like, they have so much, like, sick shit that we don't, like, I saw they have, like, a water park where they have concerts.
Yeah.
They probably have that. Like, if
amazing things are happening in China.
They really are. Like, they probably heard this idea and you're like,
they have the Wuhan flu, the artificial sun.
yeah, all that stuff. All the stuff that actors are warning us about. They probably, if anyone in China heard this idea, they'll be like, what, you mean the thing we've had since like 2005?
Yeah. You mean the roller coaster district of Shanghai?
yeah. But like, we get it. Like, you guys definitely have some cool shit like this. We need it though.
We need it here. We need it here in the US.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah. We need more fun stuff to do. And it's sad that one day in your life, you ride your last roller coaster and you don't realize it. It's sad, dude.
Dude, I can't, like, fuck, I was probably in high school last time I rode a roller coaster. And it was at Six Flags.
Yeah. Man, high school for me too.
I think I went, it's not been that long, but it's been probably a decade. By the time I went, the one way I know that it was later than high school is that I went to, it was a Six Flags, but it was a Six Flags in Illinois, the Gurney Mills one.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. And there's been an innovation in roller coasters since I was a kid that I didn't know about until I went. And it is, they now have these roller coasters where instead of going up to the top of a big hill and then having you fall down, it shoots you out immediately.
Yeah.
It's like being in a space shuttle. And like you get in and you're pointed up and it just goes woo, and then you are shot immediately up into the air, and then you're like brought back down. So that's now what they're doing at roller coasters these days.
It's amazing. Like, why we should all experience that. I will say the thing I don't like. I think this is cheating. Kind of. This is like, dude, we're all against neoliberal atomization, and this is a great example. The ones where you just go up really high in a straight line and go back down.
That's not a roller
That's just a pole. That sucks, dude. Bill Clinton started that. Those were not around before NAFTA. Fuck that.
I mean, that's literally true. And it does feel like, yeah, you're sullying the great coaster tradition. You're destroying the narrative of the coaster.
Yes.
Like that whole click, 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 click to the top thing. That's part of the process. And you're literally just like, nope. Pixie sticks for dinner. Fuck you. Immediately shot out. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, let me get ready. Let me get some butterflies for Christ's sake.
Yeah, like the straight up and down is so. It's like, well, what? Do you have like a meeting in 30 minutes? Yeah. What are you in a rush for?
Yeah, and it takes up a lot less space.
Yep.
So it's like, this is a great deal. And now we're going to tell you that this is an innovation and that it's an improvement, but really it's just cheaper.
I mean, the ones that just drop you and like simulate being in an elevator accident are like pretty fun, but I don't. You do it one time and you're like, yeah, like that's what it would feel like if I almost died.
Yeah.
But like they're not as thrilling as a roller coaster, and crucially they're not really roller coasters. They're they're like a thrilling one-off experience. But no, you gotta have the loop-de-loops. You gotta have the click, 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 click to the top. Like I said. Batman the Ride, like that was like probably like
amazing,
it, like the funnest 2 minutes of my life.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember waiting in line to go on Batman the Ride, and like all through the zigzag, it was like Gotham City. There was like a rusted out cop car. They were playing the soundtrack.
Pardon, man.
And then you got up there, and the first ever roller coaster where your feet legs are
free,
just dangling.
Yeah.
Like,
so
what is
awesome.
This? I feel like I'm literally flying above Gotham.
Like guys who design roller coasters are like the closest thing we have in real life to Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's a hell of a gig.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine you go through engineering school, you do so much. You have to do so much to make a roller coaster that doesn't kill people. You have to work so fucking hard.
Yeah.
But they have such an abominable, their goofiness is so powerful that even after learning all the types of math that have letters in it, they're still like, I want everyone to have a goofy, great, silly time.
Yeah, cold fusion.
Yeah.
I want to do a fucking roller.
Yeah, they're like, do you want to build the artificial sun? No. I want to build the Viper.
Yeah.
Imagine being that whimsical and being able to like actually understand what sin and costs are.
Dude, you're a god if you're like that. Because it's like, dude, I've met all types of people who understand math, but they're not goofy. What's like, I know like there's a lot of doom and gloom on the show and in the world. You know what's going to get us out? Goofiness.
Goofiness. We have to embrace goofiness. It's the only antidote.
Goofy mathematicians and like Werner von Braun and
He was goofy, yeah. The Nazis harnessed goofiness for a lot of evil.
Yeah.
But we could harness it for good. We should put in the Shamar Moore thing where he says, I'm silly at the end of this.
I'm silly.
I'm silly. I play a lot. He's awesome.